Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about cowards. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Frederick, what screams or what indicates that a software developer is a coward? This is a weird one. This is a really weird question actually, because I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about anyone within software development in these terms. What makes you a coward as a software developer? But I'm going to give it a bash and I'm going to try this anyway. So something that I think is worth mentioning when we talk about software development is that as a software developer, you are always in a risk position. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I basically mean by that is that when you are writing code, when you are releasing code into production, or you're working on a story or something like that, it is very hard for a lot of stakeholders to understand the enormous amount of pressure that you have on yourself. Because if you think about it, anything that is wrong with the work process at your job, you have to bridge. Because you are the person with your fingers on the keyboard. You are the person who is the technical expert. Everything starts and ends with you. Without you, there is no code. There is no one else who is going to produce that value for the company. So if you have unclear specifications or a very stressful work environment or any other issues that may arise that causes you to create a situation where the production code breaks or features are sub-quality or anything like that, then you are technically ultimately the person who is responsible for that, at least in the eyes of quite a lot of people. Because if something's not working, they're not going to go to your manager and say, why did you fuck this up? They're going to come to you and they're going to ask you, why did you fuck this up? Why isn't it working? I mean, there's a bug here and you need to fix this. And this pressure is a B-word thing to deal with, because it doesn't really matter how stressed out you are or how risky something feels to you, because you still have to do it. You have to always put yourself in that position where you might get emotional backlash from anything you do. And what I mean by that is basically that if I'll just try to see if I can give you an example of what I'm talking about. What if I told you that your boss just came in yesterday and said, shit, dude, this customer, and they said that we need to change some parts of our API, and I just need you to do that really quickly. And you kind of go, okay, but this is a really shitty integration. We don't really have any documentation, and I can't just get this done by today because I need to do some testing and make sure that everything works. And he's like, no, we don't have time for that. You need to do it today. And you go, but I can't guarantee that it's going to work. I trust you. I trust you. Don't worry about it. Just get it done. I'm sure you know what you're doing. And all of a sudden, you got roped into doing something that is a little bit out of your comfort zone. And then you make a change or an update to the API, and everything blows up in your face. Who do you think they're going to blame? You see, this is the thing where this is where I will argue that this is where a emotionally secure person and an emotionally insecure person is going to differentiate themselves. You see, a coward developer is the sort of person that freezes up in these moments, or the sort of person who will try to avoid making decisions that may blow up in their face. Another example is I've seen, and this is actually very common among juniors who will try very hard to avoid having to push code into production. Because when you're working on your own local computer, you're in your own little bubble, your code can't hurt anybody anywhere else. As soon as you push something to production, that moment when you hit that button, you are now taking a risk because you could have made something incorrect. Something could be incorrect. There's something that could have been broken, and it could be your fault, and you could get fired, or you can get like all of these emotional repercussions from making this change. And you are aware of this. And to all the damn bosses and stakeholders out there, this is the fucking seat that you put all your developers in when you stress us out, or you put ourselves in an environment where we basically have to bridge all the limitations of the work process, where you don't really know what you're buying, and we have to figure out, okay, well, what are we supposed to be building here? And at the same time, you have 10, 15 other people that needs to get their bugs fixed, and you're swamping these people that if they make a single fucking little mistake, because if their code is anything less than pretty much perfect, the whole thing blows up. These are the people that you're stressing out. These are the people that you're putting in these pressure situations. And we take this every single fucking day, and then we smile, and then we say, we'll fix it. That's what we do. And a coward developer falls under this pressure and starts to draw back from putting themselves into this position where they might have to do something that will blow up in their face, and because they don't want to feel responsible for costing the company money, or for causing a production issue, or like an outage or something like that, because there's a lot of risk and emotional fallback, and even sometimes even like actual physical fallout from doing this. And we are put in this situation over and over and over and over. And this is the part that you as a software developer, you need to you need to grow into an emotional, secure person in order to be able to deal with this, because otherwise it will kill you. So what I want you to take away from this is that, for me, a coward developer is a person who can't accept the fact that you are in a risk position almost all the time when you are working as a software developer, because any mistake on your part, any stress or anything like that, anything that leads to you ultimately breaking something is going to, for the most part, be perceived as your fault, or at the very least you're going to feel like it was your fault. And if you start letting that, if that starts scaring you and you start drawing back from your responsibilities as a software developer, people are going to start to notice, and that is pretty much coward behavior. Because the fact of the matter is that you can only do so long until people starts to get annoyed with you, and it's definitely going to damage your personal development. And to the managers and stakeholders out there, be nice to your developers, because they are taking on quite a lot of risk for you every single time you come with a new request. Have a great day.